Hello, people. Marino Reifenberg here again. Yeah, it's been ages since I've held a live stream. Let me know if you guys can see me okay and if you can hear me okay too. Doing a sound check first. Hold on, let me do that for myself. Yeah, it's been ages since I've live streamed. I know I said that it would be unlikely that I were to live stream, but I still did it anyway because I still did it anyway because I just thought, what the hell, you know? It's been ages. I honestly have nothing to discuss. So similar to the way I did in the previous live stream, the stream will be largely dependent on you guys and inquiries or questions that you guys have. Of course, that's not a go ahead, or I'm not giving you guys any permission to live stream like you guys. I mean, to thingy like you guys are insane to ask 21 questions, ask questions till you go nuts. But yeah, you guys are allowed to ask a couple of questions. Hold on, let me check. Okay, now everything seems okay. Good morning to you too, Slickerick. Good morning to you too, and everyone else. Ooh, typo. Okay, yeah, 4 people watching this stream. Yeah, a lot of people should be happy that I have live streamed again. Uh, hmm. Yeah, a lot of people have should be happy that I'm live streaming. The people that aren't busy, etc. So yeah, for me, there's nothing new. And again, also a happy 2020 to people that I haven't wished a happy 2022 yet. Again, any questions that you have are welcome. And for me, honestly, like I said in a previous video where I wish people all the best in the new year, for me, there's no difference, to be honest. There's no difference in there's no difference for me in the new year. The only difference is that the 19 turned into a 20. So 2020 instead of 2019, that's it. But for the rest, life just goes on. And I personally am not a fan of the holidays. I don't like the holidays. I don't mind holidays like Christmas and New Year's Eve because it's only once a year. But in my location, for example, you've got at least one holiday every month, and it just ticks me off. It's very annoying because businesses are closed and you can't go about your usual running usual errands and doing what you're used to doing, etc., etc. So yeah, I that's why I don't like the holidays. So yeah, for the rest, it's just a daily grind. It's literally just a daily grind for me. You guys already know that I moved to my new location. Let's see, what else is new? But there's nothing else really. I already put out that Cairo video, the Cairo aftermath video, so you guys know that Jesus isn't with me anymore, and that I'm working with my beloved Lord Samuel and Vice Lord Sandro from again. Although again, Cairo is integrated with me, so basically the Cairo amplifies everything. And in relation to my last, in relation to the last spirit submission video where I told people that they can submit spirits that they want me to check out, and I might get to it. I also indicated my reason for that. I covered one of these spirits that one of my friends slash customers. Where is he? Oh, sorry, friends slash customers is requested. He requested Jason Dunn. Jason requested. Let me see. Yeah, he requested an angel called Nithaya. Yeah, Nithaya. That's the name of the angel, and I did check that angel out. Specialty is money, wealth, arts, and sciences to make one a graceful and smooth talker. The drawback is esoteric fatigue, so basically wearing you down mentally and or a feeling strained or a feeling of uneasiness. It's Venusian, 28 degrees in Taurus. Uh, Hold on, let me just check out that thingy. Ah, crap. Go. Hold on, let me just check that out. Today's a working day, so I don't blame people for too many people for not being around. Although people in Europe or in certain parts of North America should be done with the working day by now. For me, it's still 11:32, so half an hour to go until noon. Yeah, where is he? Where is he again? Yeah. Let me see. Let me see. Where is that submission? Oh, fuck off, man. Yeah. Nithaya, the 25th Shem angel. So he's referring to a Shem Horash angel. Occult experience is also online. Hello to you too. Yeah. Jason Dunn asked in that spirit topic submission. Thanks for doing this. Moreno, Nithaya, 25th Shem angel comes to mind. Yeah. So I told him via WhatsApp, I said, instead of just putting it in the comments. That's the information on Nitaya in any case. Nitaya also appears as a feminine looking angel dressed in a white robe with curly hair. Very feminine looking, but that's a given based on the Venusian thingy, Venusian character trait. Someone called G Stacks 814. I think I remember you. You might have joined one live stream of mine or two back in the day when I live streamed heavily. Do you practice planetary magic? No, I don't practice planetary magic because it's different. It's just different. I already have a lot of information on it. I mean, if you haven't already, hold on. I'll give you the link to my article on planetary magic as well as the video embedded therein, what the benefits are and so on. Article is called "The Arts and Benefits of Planetary Magic." I used to practice it back in the day, but this was in this. That's the link, by the way. This was in my beginner's days, the days when I still, the days when I was a complete beginner and I had no practical results yet to show for anything. Planetary magic can be good, but it's still it's very broad. Let me put it like that. It's still very broad. Let me put it that way. Because instead of working with a spirit, you'd be working with yeah. Don't mention it. G stacks. Instead of working with a spirit, you would work with one planet, and that planet in itself would send the appropriate spirits or the appropriate energies towards your goal. But you can do so. It's still practical. For example, if you want to work with the sun, you can erect an altar to the sun, etc., blah blah blah, and yeah, the sun as a celestial body would basically send you the necessary entities depending on your needs and wishes. Uh, just hold on, let me see. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, if anyone has any other questions, no problem. Yeah, so like I said, for me on a personal note, nothing is new really. I'm still working, going about daily life. And to be honest, I think I have reached the point where there are no real other submissions. I mean, there are no other topics that I can cover. I've pretty much covered everything, and everything has a limit or a breaking point. So I'll at the very least be posting less material. So that means videos as well as articles, and yeah, with the exception of personal videos, for example, um, just personal videos, the way I've done in the past. Um, and yeah, like I said, for the rest, nothing new really. 2019 is gone, 2020 is here. It's already January 2020. Yeah, time flies. Time goes by really quick. I also noticed that the people that I spoke to during the live streams, these people have either vanished or they become mute for a large portion. Not that I mind, not that I mind at all. I don't mind because people come and go. Definitely, people come and go in life, and I've experienced this over the course of my entire life, and I don't mind. Honestly, literally, do not mind. People come and go. No, 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 no. For me, it's nothing but natural. Occult experiences. I'm still here. Yes, you are. You're still here. For example, Code 919. I understand they have their personal lives to it to tend to and whatnot. So yeah, I'm not worried about that. Nor do I blame anyone. I have to say, compared to my previous location, the previous house I lived in, this house is a lot better. It also has its faults, but it's a lot better. It's a lot more cost effective due to the fact that and it's cheaper, and my bedroom is also smaller, which makes the air conditioner all the more powerful, which I enjoy. Since I think this room is what 20 square meters or 25 square meters, so yeah, more than enough power for the AC, more than enough, more than enough for the AC to cool this room up or to make this room ridiculously cold, as opposed to the other house where I only had a small air conditioner and the room was close to 80 square meters. So I was like, oh, someone called Aranza Rodriguez. Wow, I haven't heard that name in a while. I've only come across one person locally that had that name, Aranza, and she was not a pleasant individual. She was an Indonesian, and she was kind of like the ass wipe type. But no, I'm not dissing you, of course, Aranza Rodriguez. I'm just saying. What do you think about HOGD? What's HOGD again? Something Golden Dawnish. Oh, Holy Order of the Golden Dawn. Oh, what I think of the Golden Dawn. I have a video on what I think of the Golden Dawn, and it's not. No, it's not favorable. I'm not gonna lie to you. Hold on, I'll send that link to you too. No, I'm not a fan of the Golden Dawn. The Golden Dawn, you can compare them to the Chicago Bulls of the esoteric world. Back in the day, they were really good, and they had pretty much an all-star team of occultists. A lot of these guys, a lot of authors that have edited books, for example, Crowley comes to mind. These guys were at some point members of the Golden Dawn, and yeah, the Golden Dawn has contributed to a lot of stuff that I'm grateful for. They created a lot of rituals that are benchmarks. We're talking about really old school rituals like the middle pillar and you know the banishing rituals of the pentagram and hexagram. But now the Golden Dawn, not just now. I think for the past 5 years or the past decade, the Golden Dawn is a complete joke. They're filled with wannabe. They're filled with wannabe Aleister Crowleys and wannabe magicians that have a holier than thou attitude. I know from personal experience because years ago, back when I was still a beginner, back when I myself was a wannabe magician, I I was a member of the official Golden Dawn group on Facebook, and I got kicked out. Not that I mind, because I myself would have removed myself from the group. This is the video in any case, Aranza. And yeah, those are my thoughts on the Golden Dawn. Huh? Oh, okay. Those are my thoughts on the Golden Dawn. And and yeah, that's pretty much it. And like I said, don't expect a lot of these live streams. I'm pretty much done with live streaming. Yeah, no, you're welcome, Aranza. I'm pretty much done with live streaming, to be honest. I mean, I remember when I first live streamed, the whole point was literally just to give a shout out to people. And that one live stream turned into 44 live streams due to a good demand that people have. And based on the activity that I'm seeing here, 6 people are watching this stream and 3 people have upvoted it. A lot of you are more than happy that I'm live streaming again. But yeah, like I said, I'm pretty much done with live streaming. In the beginning, it was because I couldn't get a. I live outside the city, basically half an hour outside the city, 45 minutes outside the city, and I I also mentioned that on my channel that The primary reason in the past, even if I wanted to live stream, was due to the fact that the internet's absolute shit. But I managed to resolve that situation, and yeah, my internet speed is better than ever now by local standards. So yeah, how much do I get? I get like 12 MB by download and what 10 upload. So yeah, it's decent. I'm not content personally, but it's decent. So yeah, it's enough to live stream in any case, and that's also why this live stream I'm noticing is going better compared to where I previously lived. And I'm obviously not paying $400 a month for this one. So yeah, no, this one is good to go. This one is completely, it's very cheap by local standards. So yeah. Uh, for the rest, now, in case you guys were wondering, I'm not sick or anything like that. I just, due to my work, which I'm gonna keep to myself, so which is gonna stay a secret, of course. That's what I mean. I just have a slightly annoying cough. My throat is dry, and it's going to clear up as soon as possible. But I just wanted to let you know that that's the reason. Um I also had another question: whether people enjoy the story time, the playlist specifically that I have on my YouTube channel, because I noticed that people really like some of those stories. So these were local ghost stories and whatnot, or just general hauntings and the forms that they take on, etc., etc. The reason that I created that to begin with was for the same reason I mentioned in the beginning. It was a lack of material. I just thought to myself, you know what, since I still remember these stories, then why not record a video on a couple of these apparitions and whatnot, because they really did used to fascinate me. Like I mentioned in a lot of those videos, you had a lot more hauntings back in the day because, for example, in let's just say 3 or 4 decades ago, you had no electricity here or anything like that. And like I mentioned, spirits are nocturnal, so you better believe that if you walked that if you literally just went out on the street, you went out for a brisk walk or similar at 10 p.m. or similar, then yeah, you better believe the chances of you seeing something would be very high. The chances of you seeing something, some kind of spectral apparition, would be high. And a lot of horrendously bad things that happened were still relatively fresh. Now a lot of hauntings have disappeared because the city's filled with light, and a lot of these spirits have moved on too. They don't stay in a location forever to haunt it. They just move on after a short while, and that is that. Um, but yeah, back in the day, if something horrible that happened, for example, someone getting decapitated or similar, was still relatively fresh. It was still something that was etched freshly in their minds. So those spirits still lingered around those locations. I mean, I remember I had everything back then. You had there's a local park called Palm Tree Garden that also used to be incredibly haunted, and I think you could see a colonial nobleman there riding his horse. And the story, as I remember it, is that there was a huge fire there, and a lot of people died in any case, and including the governor or the duke, whatever he was, whatever position or title he had, trying to, I think, save or escort as many slaves as possible away from the fire, something along those lines. So yeah, that's why I did a lot of these. That's my ringtone. I'm all of a sudden getting I'm all of a sudden getting 20,000 emails literally as I decided to live stream. Uh, hmm. So yeah, does anyone have any other questions or any other submissions or anything that you can think of? Anything at all? It could be anything of a personal nature. I don't mind anything of a personal nature as well as professional nature. Hmm. Nothing. Very quiet. Yeah, again, I don't blame people for being quiet. A lot of people don't really have anything to say. They don't really have anything to say. But I'm not gonna lie. I also have very little to say. Like I said, I've already covered everything that you can imagine. Aranza Rodriguez says, I don't speak good English. Don't worry about it. You can speak in your native language. I'm assuming that you speak Spanish. I do speak Spanish, but only at an elementary level, so basic Spanish. Hablo español, pero solo un poquito. No hablo mucho español. Occult experiences, any new fedoras in the mail? Yeah, the thing is that I get bored with things easily. I'm not gonna lie. So that's why I still rarely wear my fedoras. I still do wear them, but only on rare occasions. And yeah, like as you can see in the background, it's the four. Let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it's the four. Black, white, blue, and the red one was the last one. It's a red fedora, kind of crimson looking. But that is it. That's why I'm barely wearing them anymore. I barely even wear my Nike clothing anymore. That's why you see me in most videos wearing Adidas primarily. It's just the last batch of Adidas polo shirts that I ordered, and the Nikes I've gotten a bit bored with them. I still might wear them in the future, but whenever I feel like it. Like I said, I get bored with stuff easily, so yeah, that includes things like clothing and whatnot. Um, Let me see. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Stream is going for 22 minutes. Uh, Honestly, I do have. Oh yeah, on a more casual note, something that might make you guys laugh or giggle a bit at least. Well, sometimes when I get inquiries from people, right, customers or similar, it just makes me laugh. Occult experiences, any plans for vacations? Aside from a couple of months ago when I went to Guyana, no, no vacationing really. I'll vacation when I am permanently gone from here, which is of course overdue, but nothing happens before its time. So yeah, it's all fated. Let me see, let me see, let me see. I had a guy yesterday, just a stereotypical parasite. Um, Reaction. Yeah, I do think that's all I need. I want to work with you. And I keep in mind, I had already messaged this guy via Facebook. He joined my Facebook group, and I told him I gave him the link to my web shop. It was someone. It's a would be customer. Okay, and this guy, I told him my reply, and for the second time, like I also said in the group on Facebook, can you afford me? Because the guy's from Africa, and I'm not stigmatizing Africans, but let's be realistic. Generalization. 19 out of 20 times, someone from that part of the world cannot afford me for obvious reasons. His reaction, yes, we will see about that, but I need you to just show me the way. And I said, no, we're done here. How much do I have to pay? Honestly, at this point, I'm just amusing myself with them. If you want to learn how to summon spirits, you'll have to purchase my course on magic, and that costs $2,000. Wow. My reaction, you clearly can't afford it, so why are you wasting my time? Because I am poor and I just need you to be kind with me and help me. My reaction before I blocked him, how about you fuck off? What do you think about that? That's my reaction. Mm, yeah. 10 people are on the stream now. Yeah. Okay. Um, Haifa Shireen official. Yeah, I remember you. You commented on one of my YouTube videos. I have a strange disease. People cough and sneeze and feel weird if I'm close to them, and it is something spiritual, they say. I'm assuming that you can't mean all people. You're referring to some people that you have that effect on. Doesn't necessarily have to be anything spiritual. They might say that, but that doesn't mean that there's any merit to it. I would advise you, or I would suggest that you maybe, if you haven't done so already, just go to a doctor or a specialist. Let them check you for any kind of kind of natural chemicals that your uh, any kind of natural chemicals that your body excretes, so to speak, or similar. Um, hold on. Let me just email someone. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Um, so yeah, that's what I would advise. Okay. But truth be told, I rarely hear from something like this. I rarely hear from something like this, that someone has something like that. I mean, I have heard. Now you're saying hi, Fashirin. I'll summon Marbas to help me with it. Good luck. All the best with it. I have heard of, for example, someone that this is on a non-occult note, basically on a neutral note, that animals can sense when someone is genuinely malevolent or has malevolent intentions, for example, pets and whatnot. I think I also said it in the video in which I discuss on animals and the occult, in which I discuss animals and the occult. But the only other version of what she is mentioning is that I'm familiar with is that if someone that isn't human, basically, or a spirit or an apparition walks past you, that your the hairs will start to stand up and you'll get a cold shiver running up your spine. On average, yeah, it's also the case. But yeah, that is pretty much it. Other than that, now it's the first time that I've heard of something like this, or at the very least, I rarely hear something about something similar to this. So I I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I've just rarely heard of it. I might have forgotten even about it. Sensei Valdemar, welcome. Yeah, I recognize you too. You're a regular commenter on my channel. You're from Finland, as I recall. Are you familiar with William S. Burroughs' occult experiments? No, I am not, but that's okay. I can look it up right away. Let me see. Yak, yak, yak. Mirror gazing, scrying, trance telepathy, mind altering drugs, William S. Burroughs. Yeah, these are literally experiments, occult experiments. Uh, uh, yeah, other than that, I don't really see anything mentioned worthy. Joe Arau, I hope I'm saying your name correctly. Joe Arau, right? Portuguese. You're either from Brazil or Portugal. Yeah. Oh, hello from Brazil. Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, definitely. I have a lot of people. I have a lot of followers in Brazil. Hello from Brazil. I do appreciate your work. Congratulations. Yeah, sure. Thanks. No problem. I remember someone asking me too why I don't have videos in Portuguese, Brazilian Portuguese. And I told that person, by the way, I don't speak Portuguese. And anyone can talk to me in any language. I use Google Translate and whatnot, but I don't speak Portuguese. English, Dutch, fluent. Spanish is basic or elementary at an elementary level, but that's it. I do understand Portuguese though at a basic level because it's very similar to Spanish, but yeah, that's it. And I told that person that it's impractical to do so because I have truth be told, I have rarely gotten a customer from Brazil. I don't think I've ever had a customer from Brazil. Not that I can recall now. I have a lot of followers from Brazil, but not customers. Hi, Fashirin is asking me, do you have Instagram? You're from Morocco, if I'm not mistaken. Uh, no, I don't have Instagram. I used to have a lot of social media apps, Pinterest, Tumblr, including Instagram, but no, I don't anymore. Well, I can't remember if I do still have that account. I don't. I just don't use it anymore. I literally do not log in on anything. No, nothing. I've just had it with these excessive social media sites. It's not necessary. It's just not necessary. Period. Yeah, it's just not necessary to have 20,000 social media apps and whatnot. Because in my opinion, there are way too many social media apps out there. You've got way too many. It's too many to keep track of, to be honest. And it's no use being on all of them. It's quality over quantity. I don't even have Twitter anymore. I used to have a Twitter account. I deleted that one too because I barely got any. Not that I mind, but I barely got any. I barely had any activity on there. Not that I wanted activity, I just, I was just like, nah, it's not necessary. The only thing I have now is Facebook because it's also a means of communication. For some people, it's easy to communicate via Messenger, and what else? Um, no, that's it. Literally just Facebook. My website, YouTube channel, and Facebook. No other social media app comes to mind. Yeah, WhatsApp too, but WhatsApp, all of these things are just methods of communication. WhatsApp is still the most practical one for me. But yeah, other than that, Facebook and so on is also good. And email. Email is just email. It doesn't classify as social media. Yes, you're right. Too much social media is just time wasting. Yeah, that's my point. I used to be on a lot, but the thing is too that everything is on a steady decline. These apps, especially Pinterest and Tumblr, they keep bringing out new TOSs, so terms of services, and they keep becoming more restrictive in the lines of or in the terms of what you can do and what you can't do. I remember at Pinterest at some point they prohibited a lot of stuff, and you could basically only find pictures of kittens on Pinterest or things that they sell on Etsy, like necklaces. And I was like, no, fuck that. No, I'm definitely not going to go on Pinterest to just look at necklaces or stuff. No, 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 no. Occult experiences. I saw your recent video on making a pact with ACL. Yeah, good topic to bring up. AKA selling your soul. Do you get a lot of inquiries for that service? Can you share any success stories? No, no, and no. I'm sorry. Yes and no. The reason I say that is to answer your first question. I got a lot of inquiries within literally 24 less than 24 hours of posting that question. I got 4 or 5 inquiries, but the reason I say no to is because as you can imagine, what kind of people I get when it comes to stuff like that, especially the part where they don't have to pay anything in advance. So I got a lot of deadbeat individuals. Let me just put it that way. I don't want to be too blunt. I don't want to be too blunt. So yeah, I got a lot of those kind of individuals that that applied. But for personal reasons or for occult-based reasons, I simply cut it short. After a week or two, I nullified all the agreements. I think I had 4 or 5 people, and I simply messaged all of them and told them that, nah, listen, the deal is off, and that is that for personal reasons, as RCL mentions. So yeah, that is that in any case. But yeah, it's still surprising. Well, surprising in a relative sense, not to me, to see how many people were eager to jump on the bandwagon. Yeah, that's it in any case. Someone I've never seen before, Case or Miento, says, what do you think about evocation courses querying? Yeah, I used to be on that forum, Become a Living God, right? BALG. No, querying, people have asked me this question before in the past, but you're new, so I don't mind repeating myself, and it's been a while that anyone has asked me that question. No, querying, he just, to be honest, no, without taking without attacking him or anyone else for that matter that supports him. I back in the days when I was a beginner, I have tested out Kuwaring's some of his rituals, particularly the Black Sun ritual, and that I got from him. He's the one that taught me that pretty much. Or I got it from him, and I've worked with a couple of spirits from his grimoires, and yeah, it checks out. So if for the people that are saying that Kuwaring is a fraud, it's obviously not the case. Kuwaring is a legitimate magician. The spirits he works with are real, and they do in general have the attributes that he describes or ascribes to them. And some of his rituals, at the very least, some of them do have merit. I haven't tested all of his rituals, of course. I'm not a Coering fan or diehard or anything like that. No, I'm neutral towards Coering. For me, Coering is just another American magician. Um, and hold on for a second, guys. Yeah, Coering's just another American magician, but his techniques do have merit in any case. The only drawback is that Coering sensationalizes and ridiculously hypes up his material. But that's an obvious advertising or marketing strategy. He just wants to sell as much as possible by making lavish promises, basically the same things that politicians do right before an election. Gabriel Gameiro says, "Hello, Marino. I'm also from Brazil. Your work is a reference for me. Greetings." Yeah, yeah. Hi, Gabriel. Gabriel. I, yeah. I also recognize. Yeah, I recognize you. You've commented on a few of my videos in the past. Oh, hold on for a second, guys. I just need to step out for a brief seconds, couple of seconds. I ordered takeout, and takeout is here. I heard honking in the background. So give me a second, and I will be back in literally a few seconds. Un momento. Uh, ah, crap, crap, crap. Yeah. So I am back, people. Let me see. Uh, Joe Arau says, considering that the purpose of this live stream is to make questions or to ask questions, you mean, yeah? What's your view concerning the development of magic since ancient times to nowadays? My views concerning the development of magic. Oh, you mean the how magic has evolved basically from back in the day all the way up until nowadays? Okay. Occult experiences. What are you having for lunch? I remember you eat a lot of crabs. No, I just ordered takeout. I asked the cab driver my default cab driver, to pick up some food for me and to bring it to me. And no, it's just miscellaneous things: mashed potatoes with vegetables and chicken and so on. So arouse us, for example, Greek magic, papyri, in comparison with chaos magic. Oh, you mean magical systems? Oh, the old magical systems. Well, it's different. To be honest, truth be told, I'm not too knowledgeable on magic from back then. We're talking about BC times, even, or in the times of classical antiquity. But it was a lot more paganish. Okay, it was more folk magic based, and it was simply based on intent alongside working with their own pagan gods and goddesses. And the benefit is that people were a lot more devoted back in the day. That's obviously based. I mean, that's obvious, and that's a given based on the fact that based on the fact that you have a lot of ruins, a lot of that prove that there were a lot of temples devoted to gods. You name it. All the most well known. I mean, the most well known civilizations. We're talking about the Greeks, the Egyptians, the Romans, yeah, the Norse. All of these guys were incredibly devoted to their own pantheon, their own polytheistic system, religious system, and that the same goes for pretty much every non-Christian or any civilization that you can classify religiously as pagan. Back in the day, they worked exclusively similar to the way witchcraft works. The benefit is that, like I said, they were devoted. Drawback is that it wasn't refined. Their kind of magic wasn't refined, and they were also people were ignorant back then, so they believed everything. They were very gullible. Um, Whereas compared to nowadays, I mean, people aren't nearly as devoted to the spirits that they work with, like back in the day. But that's the only drawback. The benefit nowadays is that magic is a lot more refined. A lot of things are a lot clearer. Everything is more clear cut. Um, and it's simply more practical to an individual's life as opposed to back then, because back then it was more, people didn't focus heavily on specific results. They were just literally, host a ritual. It was like a sermon. Thingy was a ritual was like a sermon. People held made lavish offerings, etc., to appease whatever god needed appeasing, because they hoped that that would prevent drought from occurring, and that would prevent infertility agriculturally, as well as when it comes to their own population, you name it. And they just hope for the best, end of story. But they never said to themselves, hey, you know we didn't get what we wanted, so I think we need to stop making offerings or anything. No, they just blindly shot into the dark, to put it that way. That's the difference. Occult experience says, did you get back together with your cab driver friend? No, no, no. This is a different cab driver. This guy, I've known him for years when I was a beginner. We're talking about way before I live streamed even. Um, I live. This guy was. It's an old guy, 60, 70 years old. He still lives at that one. He still lives at that apartment complex. This was back when I still lived in that one-bedroom apartment. This was like 2000. I lived there from 2010 or 11 till 2008, 17. Yeah. Um. So that's why this isn't the other guy, the Indian. Nah, this guy's a black guy. He's not an Indian. He still lives there. I've known him for 7 to 8 years. um, Sensei Valdemar says, any book suggestions on occult topics? By the way, I'm trying to make a more concerted effort at learning this subject. Uh, uh, I'm assuming you mean concentrated. Yeah, I know what you mean. Oh, No, in case you still, if you haven't done so, hold on. I'll just give you the playlist of my book reviews. Uh, I'll give you the link. I mean, to my playlist, my book reviews playlist. Where are your book reviews? In it, I review a lot of books, and I basically tell people what these books are about, etc., etc. Where the hell is it? Just give me a second. Yeah, I wrote too fast, it seems. Yeah. Concentrated. I could sense that you meant concentrated. Yeah, that's the list. That's the link to the playlist on book reviews. In it, in it you'll find a lot of occult books I've reviewed and whatnot, and also my article called "Magic for Beginners." Again, if you haven't read it so already, because I remember that you made a comment in the past where you completely forgot that I had a website to begin with. Uh, I have a list of books there, but these are well-known mainstream occult mainstream books. So books that the average thing is familiar with, the average occult enthusiast is familiar with. Hmm. Okay, yeah. So that is that. Um, Let me see if I missed anything. No, I didn't miss anything really. So yeah, does anyone have any other questions? Does anyone have any other questions specifically? With the thingy, for example, the with the whole soul selling bit in relation to RCL, getting a notification that my connection is unstable. Well, whatever. Yeah, in relation to the soul selling deal with RCL, I have to admit that you have to. I mean, to be honest, it's also impractical to be honest in hindsight because, especially the people that were interested, these people wanted results in the long as quickly as possible, and such a deal does not happen that way. Mm-mm. Such a deal does not happen like that. So no, patience is key. Someone Naveed Mohammed, hey Moreno, what is your favorite class of spirits and why? Favorite type of spirits, you mean? Okay. It's first time I think I'm seeing you. My favorite kind of spirits are angels, which I've already mentioned. But it's okay because I don't think that you were there when in the times that I mentioned it. This was a good while ago. Yeah, angels, angels. It's purely about angels for me. I'm an angel worker. I don't have an issue in working with other spirits, but I know but from experience, knowledge, and experience that angels are by far the best choice. They're by far the best choice. Yeah, wow, we're almost already 48 minutes that I'm live streaming. Yeah, going on an hour. Ransa Rodriguez says, of course, Almalek. Um, so yeah, anyone have any other statements or comments or anything like that? My cab driver was giving me some stupid small story about how someone almost ran him over. If he hadn't pulled up to the side, that person would have, a pickup truck, I think, would have run him over on the way to here. Otherwise, I wouldn't have gotten my food. Uh, I guess just road rage. Odd for a Tuesday. It's a typical Tuesday. Oh yeah, another new thing that I was going to mention, and I noticed that it's not something that really interests people. It's not something out that really interests people based on the amount of views that the video got, but I'm still going to discuss it anyway about the sports orrery method or sports orrery astrology. Like I said, like the article said, okay, those of you that have read it know that it's about simply predicting the outcome of sporting events through astrology. I look deeper into the matter, and yeah, on a superficial glance, it does seem like a get rich quick scenario. But in reality, it looks like a get rich quick scenario on a superficial level of note. But in reality, there is merit to it in any case. It is very realistically possible to be able to do so. And I seriously looked into it and I devoted a good deal of energy to it. A long story short, I'm not going to discuss too much. Yeah, I already put out that video as well as the article, of course. But bottom line is that, yeah, it is possible. But to say that it's hard is an understatement. It's pretty much similar to trying to win the lottery. I also wouldn't advise stuff like this. I've looked into it, but like I said, it's impractical. The majority of people on average, they want results as quickly as possible. And the thing is that these things are just not practical. It's just not practical. Okay. A lot of people, I mean, generally speaking, deadbeat people will kind of look into stuff like this. I mean, not the way I am, but I mean, they'll try doing things. This comes down to gambling in the end, regardless of how you put it. And it's unreliable in terms of it's very unstable and unreliable to say the least in terms of for example doing this for a living, seeing to an income. No. But I did look into it, and bottom line is it is possible. You can the specifically, honestly, the only sport that seriously interested me was soccer, so football, and I looked into it by experimenting with Premier League matches in the UK and whatnot. I think a couple of La Liga matches. It does have merit, okay. Make no mistake, it does have merit, but for reasons I already mentioned, like what I said in the article, it I simply saw off the idea too. Okay, I reached my conclusion, and that was it. End of story. And something I already knew, but I said to myself, you know what, this is worth looking into and investing time and energy into, and that was it. Jamie Foster says, "Hi Moreno, do you have any opinions or experience with tarot cards?" Yeah, I use by default major arcana cards, and I use a 6 card spread. But I do so solely online. I don't have a physical deck with me. So yeah, that's it. So Aral says, what's your opinion about the effectiveness of old systems of magic compared with contemporary ones like after the Golden Dawn? I already answered that question. That's what I said when in the example that you gave me with Greek magical papyri compared to now. That's the difference, okay? Summarized, back then people were a lot more devoted. That's the benefit. The drawback is that they did not pay attention to the effectiveness and results and practicality of everything. It was just okay, ritual, and then we're done. Regardless of whether it worked or whether they got it or not, they got what they wanted. um, and nowadays, it's a lot more practical. Of course, people focus on stuff like that, the results, timeline, blah 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 blah. Magical systems are a lot more refined. Drawback is that people aren't devoted. Okay, people aren't nearly as devoted as they were back then. But then again, people were different back then. Occult experiences, going back to the ASIL topic, what can someone expect to happen realistically after making a pact? Like I said, it's similar to a ritual. The only difference is that you're giving up servitude in the afterlife in exchange for results. You can simply expect the same things that you could expect if you were to host a ritual, a regular ritual with making offerings and whatnot. In Asiel's case, Asiel, like I said, he's like a bulldozer. Asiel will do stuff like, for example, burn down your house or so that you can cash in on the insurance, assuming that your house is insured, and so on. He'll resort to any measure pretty much. And it all depends, regardless of the morality involved. But yeah, usually morals are also kept intact. But let's just say expect results through semi-violent means, at least. Gabriel Gamero says, what's your opinion about working with the HGA? Indicates material about now the HGA. I covered that too. I looked into the higher self, the Holy Guardian Angel from the Abremelin, if you're referring to that grimoire, is literally just your holy guard. Is literally quote unquote just your holy guardian angel, and that is it. Not a lot else that I have to say about that. But I have looked deeply into the higher self, and your higher self is simply your higher self is literally just your astral twin, if you will. It's like your an entity that was created specifically to fill the voids in your current life cycle. If you haven't seen it already, Gabriel, hold on. I'll send you. Hold on. I'll send you the article on it. Hold on. Hold it. Hold on. Yeah. Yeah. This is the article, the link to the article in any case. So yeah, if you haven't read it, knock yourself out. If you haven't watched the video, knock yourself out. But that is your higher self. That's the one I came into contact with. And yeah, these guys are very powerful and whatnot. Just read the article or watch the video. What's your favorite pantheon and why? Uh, I don't really have a favorite pantheon. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, like I said, I'm into working with angels. So I don't really have a favorite pagan pantheon. Occult experiences, what would be a more effective way for a customer to spend their money? Spending 15K to make the pack with RCL or spending 15K for your regular service? The latter, definitely the latter. Okay, spending 15K on me, for example, will get you roughly estimated a year's worth of work. And in that year, you better believe you're going to make big strides, provided that everything's in place. But yeah, a lot of people don't get that you need to stay on it, or they either can't afford to stay on it. You need to be consistent in your efforts. A customer comes to mind, for example, that I don't want to go too deeply into it, but a customer comes to mind that spent what? She spent 4,000 euros on me. It was someone from Europe, from the European Union, and she was disappointed when with the conclusion, and I was like, huh? What the hell's wrong with you? I mean, I already told you what the deal is. The guys tried, and they told me the same thing. They really tried, but the problem is, let's just say that it was a woman. She wanted a better job, and that's all I'm going to say about this. Customer confidentiality and all. And I told her, listen, you live in a village. Okay, the guys really tried everything. The spirits tried. I asked to help her out, and after a month or so, or 2 months, a couple of months, they really tried everything. They said, man, there's no other option. Okay. There are no opportunities present. And I told her, listen, there are no opportunities present. You live in a village. There are literally no job vacancies along the lines of what you want. You want a really well paying job, high paying job, and everything. And it's different. Okay. If you want one of those things, then you need to move to a big city. You seriously need to look into moving to a big city. But in your village, where only what, like a couple of thousand people live, you can't expect any better job or any job the likes of what you want. But yeah, she was very distraught over it and blah blah blah. I was like, no, you literally seem to miss the point of that. And that's my point. You need to be consistent. You seriously need to be consistent, but it's like, I don't know, it's like it goes in one ear and out the other. People simply can't seem to understand the fact that I mention all of this stuff on my website and in my videos too. I said it multiple times. Things that things that you need to keep in mind too is that magic is not will not literally work literal work wonders do literal wonders for you. It will do metaphorical wonders, but no literal wonders. I mean, I guess this customer just wanted what they she just wanted the spirit to create an entirely new company in which she could work. Okay, here you go, poof, a company, there you go. You can apply, you'll be automatically approved. No, it doesn't work that way. I've said this in the past before too. It doesn't work like that. Okay, because doing so is possible, but the ridiculous amount of energy it takes to manifest something out of nothing is no. I mean, it's like me saying that, hey, I want to turn stuff into money. Let me just take something. I'm going to turn my cell phone into money. Okay, poof, $100,000. No, 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 no. It's possible, but it takes a lot of energy and it's really not worth it. It's a lot easier and a lot more practical. I mean, if she had taken my advice, I can guarantee you that I can near guarantee you that she would have had a much better job and she would have done a lot. She would do a lot better for herself. But no, instead of that, she was just distraught and she couldn't believe that that's it. Seriously, you're telling me that that's it? I was like, yes. What else do you want? I already told you. Woman, you live in a fucking village with a couple of thousand people and you want a job, you want a managerial level job and a managerial level income. That is possible, but you're going to have to move to the big city. You're going to have to move to a big city with at least hundreds of thousands of people so that you're eligible for that position. And with my influence, you can get a position like that. But yeah, she just it just fizzled out with her. And yeah, long story short, I never heard from her again. Not that I mind. I mean, honestly, it's like people are so dense sometimes that they only hear what they want to hear. Um, so Arauz says, are the methods that you use for astral projection, astral senses, and tatwas the same that you mentioned on your video based on the book Summoning Spirits, or has it changed? Any advice of training? Um, I do have I think I think you also missed that. I do have a video on that. Hold on. Uh, I don't know if you saw that video, but in case you haven't seen it, I'll send you the link anyways. Come on, man. Yeah. Oh crap. No, no analytics, man. Yeah, it's called Tatwas Astral Traveling and Senses Development. That's the link to the video. Um, yeah. What else was I gonna say? And yeah, that's pretty much it. But of course, I don't use these methods anymore. At my level, no. I haven't astral projected in. The last time I did these exercises, the last time I seriously used my astral senses, as in scrying, astral projection, and I don't use tatwas anymore. These are for absolute beginners. Was when I was busy compiling my e-occult course, and I was really nostalgic. I was like, wow, I haven't done stuff like this in years. I literally haven't done stuff like this in years. So it was just, on the one hand, it was fun. On the other hand, I was reminded of how outdated everything is. That's why in my occult course, I don't teach stuff like that. I really take away all the baggage. And I remember when I was busy writing and making up the course, I was like, wow, old school stuff really has a lot of baggage, stuff that's absolutely unnecessary. Aranza Rodriguez says the magic does have to work in the person, the other half. Well, not to put it that way, okay? Magic does all of the work, but you need to understand too that in a more practical context, magic has restrictions. Don't expect someone like me, for example, to split the Red Sea the same way Moses did. No, 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 no. That's not what I do. No, that's impractical to say the least. There's no benefit in splitting the Red Sea. I mean, so yeah, you need to understand that. But yeah, people, they either can afford to be consistent or they they simply, they think it's just one quick shot to the moon. Oh, it's just a month working with Marino and that's it. Keep in mind, I'm not insulting any customer of mine or any would-be customer, anyone that wants to be a customer. I'm just saying, so to speak, it, I'm just saying, so to speak, it would be, you just, don't expect tremendous results, and that's what people want. They want tremendous results within a month's time or so. No, 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 that's not going to happen. No, no, no. If you want tremendous results, we're talking about if you were knee deep in debt, you had a debt to pay of $10,000, $20,000. Don't expect that debt to go away in a month, not even 2 months, if you're lucky, 2 months. But no, if you want your debts cleared up and you want to do well for yourself financially, it's going to take at least depending on the circumstances and conditions you're under, it can take half a year up to a year. But it's ridiculous, with people, especially at the prices I have. People expect to literally get all of that done, to clear up $20,000 of debt, and to make three times more than they did in the past at their previous jobs. For what? For $1,200. I'm like, good luck. That's not gonna happen. No, 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 no. You're gonna have to invest at least 5 times more if you want a similar result. Jamie Foster says, how many hours a day would it take you to get results with your e-course? My e-course teaches you everything, and you can work at your own pace. I mean, it's not even hours a day. It all depends on how quickly you go through it. If you're adept at it and you take everything, you take the entire course, then yeah, you go through the entire course. You should be done in literally a couple of months. It all depends on how much you devote to it. I mean, if you seriously go through it a couple of hours a day, believe me, it will only be a matter of, I think, a month or so, a month, 2 months that you're done. Hold on. Like the description says, okay, for those of you that don't know it, hold on, I'll give you the link again to my e-course. Link to my e-courses. Where is my e-course in Magic? Yeah, e-course in Magic. Yeah, this is the link to my e-course for those of you that haven't seen it already. And it's literally as follows, okay? It's a book that you can download. It's only a couple of pages. It can barely classify as a book. Let's just say these are guidelines, general guidelines. There are only 2 pages, so it can easily be downloaded. If you order the e-course, you'll get the link to the book so that you can download it. And secondly, the link to the playlist of video instructions. I think I have like 18 videos, and I teach one exercise in every video. I go through the entire process from beginning to end, literally. It's like Magic for Dummies. I literally show you what you need to do. Okay, you need to do this, you need to do that. That's what you can expect from literally beginning to end. And these videos are what, half an hour on average, the duration for these videos. So yeah, you just have to walk through these videos. I've had people that have bought this course already. I've had more than a few people that have bought this course and these courses. Of course, on the other end, you also have the astrological course, but I understand, of course, that not a lot of people, not a lot of people, compared to the occult course, not a lot of people are interested in the astro course. People are focused on results through magic, and astrology doesn't really offer practical benefits to people. That's what they think, but they're wrong, of course. Yeah, they need to know that for themselves and learn that for themselves. Uh, but yeah, the astrological course is pretty much the same thing. The astrological course is the same thing, pretty much. It it teaches you how to practice astrology, and the software and everything is included. Blah blah blah. You name it. You just go through everything every day, and yeah, you'll benefit from it for the rest of your life. Yeah, for people that are also unaware of it, this is the link to my web shop, or the page in which I describe anything. I also do egregores, creating an egregore for you. I've also had a couple of people that have ordered egregores, more than a couple of people. And yeah, yeah, no thanks, Jamie Foster. I mean, don't mention it, Jamie Foster. Um, yeah, an egregore is also beneficial. It's lifelong, and that one's $1,000. And it's very cheap also compared to the lifelong benefits. The only drawback is, like I've said numerous times, an egregore will take a while to get strong. Okay, it'll take a year or something to get strong. Again, like I said, it's all about consistency. You need to be consistent. Okay, don't expect tremendous things in what, a month or so now. After a year, when your egregore has really powered himself up and he has enough experience in dealing with your life, in the sense of, okay, I know what this guy wants, and I am aware of all of his life conditions and circumstances, then things will really start to pick up. Your quality of life will improve regarding what you want. um, Occult experience says, can I sell my soul to Freya? Wouldn't mind spending the next 300 years with her. Well, let's just say that it wouldn't be the way that you envision it if you were to sell your soul to Freya. So you can forget that. You'd be Freya's bitch, more or less, pretty much, or you'd be her servant, and not in a good way. Naweed Mohammed says, "What spirit would you recommend for attracting as many women as possible through manipulation of your aura or subtle bodies and such? Basically sexual magnetism. If it's solely about sex, then I would. If it's solely about sex, then I would say, a Martian spirit. Uh, for example, my beloved Lord Samael. If it uh, if it's also if or you want romance included, then I would advise going with the solar spirit. Yeah, a spirit that specifically recognizes romance or that deals with romance as well as sex to a lesser extent. Uh, and yeah, pretty much it. Anyone have anything else? Anything else to add? Anything? Uh, I've also noticed that I'm getting a lot of hits. I've been getting a lot of hits, for example, from Australia. So it's one person going nuts on my website in the past 2 or 3 weeks, but I'm getting a lot of hits from Australia. So yeah, it's one person. It's not they're not it's not multiple people. It's one person that's going through my website on a massive scale. But yeah, nothing ever came of it. In any case, I haven't heard anything of someone from Australia. Oh, so yeah, I for the rest have little else to discuss. Like I said, people also haven't answered the question I've noticed in relation to story time. But yeah, based on the viewership, I've seen that yeah, a lot of people have taken interest in a lot of people have taken interest in in those videos. Occult experiences maybe needs help putting out the fire. Dark humor, yeah. Yeah, it's not pleasant what's happening in Australia, but yeah. It's still happening nevertheless, so yeah, there's nothing you can do about it pretty much. Nothing you can do about it. I also read a story about an Australian model that has raised donations by selling naked pictures or something, erotic pictures. I don't know if she's Australian, but in any case, it was a fundraiser for Australia, and she received a moderate to good amount of backlash doing it or controversy. Doesn't matter to me either way. I'm not gonna lie. You know, I I I do love Australian wildlife, but not to go specifically to Australia because practically everything in Australia can kill you. Everything's either super venomous or super deadly, super dangerous. How much would you charge for such a spell of attraction? I'm assuming that you want the effect to be permanent. If you want the effect to be permanent, if you want it to be permanent, if you want it to be permanent, let's just say $1,000. Yeah, $1,000. I was gonna say 1,200, but I just thought that it would be better to create an egregore for you. That way, it would be permanent. The egregore would automatically make you attractive, or would attract women to you if you're a guy, obviously. Um, and yeah, it's 1,000. It's a cheaper option, and it's the most practical in terms of what you're asking, the likes of which what you're asking. Uh, so yeah, that is it pretty much. I'm not gonna lie, I also get a couple of idiotic comments. I mean, I don't mean on this in the chat bar. I mean comments on my YouTube videos and whatnot, but I automatically just delete these. I also get a lot of spam messages, but yeah, I have a spam filter, so it automatically filters those out. Um, there was one that really made me laugh. I saw on my website an article. I saw an article when I looked into the spam folder of my website, someone replied with to my article. Someone replied to my article on Sandalphon, becoming wealthy with Sandalphon, and that person said something along the lines of what did that person say again? Yeah, I got it here. It's some crazy churchgoer, most likely. It has to be an evangelist or something. You worship Satan, you'll go to hell if you don't repent of your sins. You're breaking many of God's laws. Read the Torah and the Old Testament and the Holy Bible. I guarantee you that you didn't see Yeshua or Lord and Savior. You're, as a follower of Yeshua, you're not supposed to be contacting spirits, practicing witchcraft, or doing what you're doing. You're seeing demons. Please pray to our Lord Yeshua to be your Lord and Savior. Ask for forgiveness of your sins and ask God our Father to grant you repentance and be baptized in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, and get a holy Bible and join a church that preaches sound doctrine. I guarantee you will find the peace you're seeking. I will pray for you. It's just wow. It was just wow. Crazy churchgoer, not job alert over 10,000. Just stuff like that just amuses me. And yeah, my spam filter is doing its job. Joe Arauz, as concerning politics, do you consider that high members in government worldwide have protection of spirits? Could you mention a particular one? And the spirits do have a position on actual conflicts? No, not other. To answer your last question, your latter question, whether spirits have a position on actual conflicts, all is God's will. Is I'm being told, by my beloved Lord Samael. But not, in all honesty, not that. Yeah, I needed him to tell me that. All is as needs to be. Everything is fated. Nothing happens by coincidence, regardless of how minuscule it might be. And yeah, it's true. A lot of politicians, you name it, presidents, and so on, they have they have protection of spirits. Believe me. Not all. I'm not saying that all of them do, but a good deal of them do, because especially let's just say, especially in a country like mine, definitely the politicians, high-ranking politicians or the president, they definitely have some form of magical protection that makes it so that you can't touch them esoterically, so to speak, because in countries that are worthless, to say the least, and that are rife with corruption and strife, everyone seeks out power and they'll resort to any measure to do so. It doesn't matter what they have to do, how low they have to stoop, you name it. As long as they become eligible for that power, then they'll definitely get to it. They'll definitely try something. They'll try dethroning you if you're the president or the prime minister. But for the rest, everything else is fated. Okay, everything is fated. Even that in itself is fated. But yeah, it's not uncommon. Uh, mm, so yeah, no other questions. I think I'm going to give it another 15 minutes and then I'm going to call it a day. It's been enough. It's been swell. It's been nice streaming again after a really long time. But yeah, it's 1:18. I've been streaming for an hour and 18 minutes, so I'm going to stream until an hour and a half. Okay. So yeah, approximately 15 more minutes. And then it's been swell. So yeah, the feedback was good. Benefit is that I saw a lot of people that are new, people that I haven't spoken to before, live stream wise. But yeah, it's okay. I appreciate that, and I think I actually prefer that, rather than have the same old people come over and over again. It's just nice. It's nice. People come and go, like I said in the beginning, and and there's nothing wrong with that. Um, Naveed Mohammed says, can a one-time spell grant permanent sexual attraction? Is there a way you could do it without an egregore? How much would you charge for a one-time spell if you can do it like that? Joe Arau says, thanks for the answer. God bless. Yeah, same to you too. Obrigado. Mm. Uh, no, a one-time spell to grant you permanent sexual attraction. No, it will be temporary. And even if I wanted that, if you wanted a one-time spell, I can still help you out with that. But keep in mind, like I said, it's going to be temporary. One time would be 600. One time would be 600. hmm. Naveed Mohammed says, how long would that last? It all depends. I would have to tell you, but in general, I would have to look into it. It all depends on your specific case. But in general, let's just say up to half a year at longest. In general, yeah. So yeah, that is it. Anything else? Hold on. On that note, listen. Since we're on the subject, right? If you have any other inquiries, anything you need to contact me, just use this link, Naveed Mohammed, with my, and you can simply choose one of the contact methods available, one of my many contact methods. So choose whichever one is convenient for you, whether it's email or WhatsApp, you whatever. If you're seriously interested, then just hit me up on one of those. And by hit me up, I obviously mean contact me, make the official inquiry, and we'll take it from there. So yeah, that is it pretty much. And yeah, I don't really see anyone else having any other questions. I'm just gonna leave a 1 minute window, and after that, I am going to close off. Like I said, it's been swell. I've enjoyed it, and yeah. Jamie Foster says thanks for the stream. No problem, Jamie Foster. No problem. Asha Basaula says, I've enjoyed it too, Moreno. Thanks. Sure, no problem. Cult Experience says, thanks for sharing your knowledge. It's been great. Yeah. Thanks, guys. I'll see you some other time, perhaps. In any case, ciao.